All right, we're just gonna roll it. We're just gonna roll it. So, welcome back to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. Look, man, we got some shit to talk about tonight. This has been an interesting day, a very very interesting day. So let's go ahead and knock pleasantries out. We'll get right into the business. So first and foremost, shout out to the plugs. Shout out to Audio Swim. Shout out to Premiere Element. If you're watching this show, look at these links. If not, it's gettheplugs.com, audioswim.com, premiereelement.com. Shout out to the sponsors for having our back. Subscribe to Bandcamp. Go to this link if you're watching. If not, datfeeling.bandcamp.com. As always, this show will be available on the Patreon. We're getting this thing back rolling with the Patreon. So go to patreon.com/datfeelingpodcast. We will be upping the stakes this year with the Patreon. So make sure you guys are subscribed and tuned in to get everything that we are offering with these services. We do have merch available. If you're in the Nova Gimmicks group, if you're not in the No Gimmicks group, search for the No Gimmicks podcast fan group. We do have some new designs up for you guys to look at as far as merch is concerned. We will be dropping a new line of merch here shortly. And go to this link, teespring.com, search for That Film Podcast. You'll be able to find the merch. Now, I am your host, Black Mac. I am joined by the other host, Fabulous Frank D, who's looking very much like Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the black version. How are you doing?
well, well, I appreciate that, man. It's great to be back up here on the platform. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. And brother, let's get it going.
Let's get it going. Now, last night I happened to get a Reddit alert and I thought it was bullshit. I immediately called it bullshit because there was no way this was going to happen. Today, the official statement comes out that Cody Rhodes is leaving AEW. Tony Khan put out the statement thanking him and Brandy for their services, for being the launchers of the brand of AEW, getting the ball rolling for AEW. And they are officially, as of today, well, it isn't really as of today because Cody hasn't been a part of AEW unofficially for a while. Like, he didn't renew his contract, and I think this was like a 6-week thing that they were trying to get a new deal done with him. But officially, as of today, he is no longer a part of AEW. So I have thoughts on this. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Um, I was literally shocked when I read the reports. I first saw it in the No Gimmicks group, and I couldn't believe it. At first I thought it was a joke, right? These things don't happen. Cody would have re-signed a new deal, but apparently they had been talking, and the conversations basically broke down. Cody's last match in AEW was the ladder match for the TNT titles, in which he lost
With
and
Sammy
put over
Guevara.
Sammy Guevara, and that was his last
Mm-hmm.
appearance on television. And all of a sudden, this stuff happens. Brandy was just on TV doing a segment
With
with
Dan
Dan Lambert.
Lambert. Yep.
So all of a sudden now, she's gone, Cody's gone, Dustin is staying. Where are they going to go now with the Nightmare family? Where are they going to go now with Arn Anderson? As far as there's a lot of questions here. My thing is this though. Okay, so the rumor mill going right now all day long is that Cody has been talking to the WWE, and he could
Yes.
possibly be going back to the whip. So my only problem with that is that for the last 5 years, longer than that, he's been talking major shit about WWE. You
Majorly.
had you buried the main chance you can get. You had an issue with them holding your father's legacy hostage. They were holding your name hostage. Okay. And then all of a sudden now everything's all hunky dory. And I'm not feeling that. I understand the business of the wrestling business though. You want to go where you're gonna make the most money. After all, it's all entertainment. But at the same time,
Right.
bro, um, you kind of are you know you said all this about the evil empire. You went over and helped create this thing over here, and all of a sudden now you walk away from that. And my only thing that people aren't taking into consideration here is that they've been negotiating this entire time. And I just, if they can come to a deal, and Cody's one of the pillars, one of the people that put this foundation together at AEW, it kind of shows me what really Tony Khan kind of thinks of you. Because if Tony Khan wanted to make a deal, he would have made a deal. It didn't happen.
Yeah,
So
you were right
with
about
all
that.
these people over here, with the CM Punks and the Brian Danielsons and the Adam Coles and the Keith Lees and the Switchblade, Jay White, all these different cats coming in, you're probably gonna have more people coming in to the company. Cody, Cody's value kind of diminished, after that. Cody, he was working with the Malakais, he was working with, the Andrades and all these different people, but his value went down. His value is not where it was at, and he was doing the TV shows, Rose to the Top, and then the Go Big Show. All these different things that come into play here.
Hmm.
He's still an executive on paper, but there's nothing that's saying you can't go work for any other promotion. You can't go back to WWE or anything like that. So it's a very interesting situation. Even if he goes to WWE, do they have a spot there for Brandy? Brandy is not the most compelling character out there. She can't work for shit. She'll probably end up being a ring announcer at WWE, and that's fine. The girl they have over there right now is trash. So if they brought her back, they could probably have her doing that. But it's just like I said, man. If Tony wanted to make a deal, Tony Khan would have made a deal. Let me tell you this real quick, and I get your thoughts. Eric Bischoff on his podcast, 83 Weeks, said when he took full control of WCW, if he wanted to get rid of you, he would lowball you.
Oh yeah.
So he thought that Michael Hayes' time was up there, and he thought the Freebird gimmick was done. So he offered Michael $75,000. That was his way of saying, "I don't want to hire you. I don't want to keep you here. Fuck you. You're gone." Because that's an insult. And that's what he was trying to do. So
Right. Right.
Tony Khan made a deal with Shivani. Tony Khan obviously is probably gonna make a deal with Jim Ross. Whatever Cody Rhodes was asking for, he didn't get it. And Tony Khan feels you're not worth it.
That's a very interesting way to look at that shit. That's a very interesting way to look at that. Now, my thoughts were Cody Rhodes is basically in a tweet responsible for AEW. By responding to Dave Meltzer, AEW was created, right? So they did this whole all-in thing. They did the New Japan thing, which we saw one of their last matches in New Japan when they came out to California. And this was right before the inception of AEW. We've seen what's happened from then to now. I think as much stock as Cody Rhodes has put into that company, for him to leave, his credibility takes a massive hit. Because you've built this thing along with the Young Bucks, along with Tony Khan, regardless of how valuable you actually are, you've put a lot of stock into this company. You've put a lot of your reputation into this company. A lot of the names of the events were driven from your father's influence on you. And the way that this company, I wouldn't say he's a pillar, but I'd say he was kind of a hand in building this company. So for all that AEW is right now, I kind of attributed that. I'm not the biggest Cody fan, but I attributed a lot of it to the work that he put in. You have the Nightmare Factory, which on TV is atrocious, right? But behind the scenes and what the Nightmare Factory does for all the wrestlers and training them and getting them ready for promo work, like a lot of that stock he has invested into this company. So the fact that he's not there anymore, I'm at a loss for words on what to think, what's going to happen to him next. Because think of this, you spent a good amount of time telling the fans that you would not turn. This is the ultimate heel turn. this is the ultimate heel turn by saying I'm leaving this company and I'm going back to work for the place that gave you guys an alternative. Like this is they're the reason you are now the alternative. I'm going to work for them again. That is a heel turn. If there is no other heel turn, he will never be loved again if he ever comes back to AEW. If that is, I think it's a work. But if it's not a work and this is true, don't ever go back to AEW. Bro, you are going to get booed. Unceremoniously booed every time you step out. There will be no more love for you if you show up in WWE. Now, granted, that is not I don't think that's going to happen because, dude, you just spent 2 years taking a massive shit on that company. Like your first ever match was taking the shit on Triple H, right? Walking to the ring. Like grabbed a sledgehammer, broke the throne. Like, and then went out there and had a 5-star match. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that is, are you done being the rebel or like what's going on here? Like, it's just too much for me to say like this shit is actually, I still think it's bullshit, but I won't believe it until I see it. I think it's bullshit, but I don't know. Unmute.
You brought up right there the match he had with Dustin at Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, let's just put it like this, man. Has Cody ever gotten back to that point other than the Dustin and the MJF match he had, the first cage match they had at AEW? Has Cody ever gotten back to that point? Really? Has Cody done anything significant other than being TNT champion? Has he done anything of any significance at that point? Cody hasn't really been around. Cody's been off doing TV shows. Then he'll come back and do a feud, and then he'll leave, and then he'll come back. So his tenure at AEW has been kind of questionable to begin with. You know what I mean? So, okay, let's just say that this is not a work and this is legitimate. He goes over to WWE. For the short term, Cody will have an impact on business. Short term. Then he'll just be another guy. Then he'll just be another guy.
It'll be the shock value, right? So it'll definitely be the shock value. Like, holy shit, we didn't think we'd ever see him again. And then it's right back to the run in the mill shit. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
it just doesn't make sense.
I expect him to be in full Stardust gear at that point, because here's the thing that here's the thing that WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long has always told me. Vince can't get you if you ain't here, and that's just the bottom line. You know, this guy went out there and ran his mouth and talked all types of crap. And you think everything's going to be all forgiven? It's going to be swept under the rug? No, man. This is a business.
No,
it's a business. Vince is, and it's not the same WWE it was when you left it. It's a different place here.
I look at it like this, right? I look at it like this. Why would you, Cody Rhodes, go from, now think about this, the company that your face was attached to beat Vince's developmental product. And as a result, all of these people that have been showing up at that company, he let go. Why the fuck would you go back there?
He didn't get something he wanted. If that's the case, if this is all legitimate, he didn't get something he wanted. And I don't know what that was. but
I
he
don't
didn't get
either.
something. He didn't get something.
I would not go back there. Why would you go back there?
And Tony Khan didn't think he was worth whatever it was. And that's the shoot right there. He can make,
that's
bro.
the shoot.
If it's like I heard Scott Hall say, right, when he was getting ready to go over to WCW, he said he wanted more money. Vince said, I can't do that because I don't have their money. And Vince was like, years later when they came back, Vince was like, Scott told him, he's like, Vince says, oh, can we make a deal? And Scott was like, sure, we can make a deal. If we both want to make a deal, we can make a deal. We can make something happen. For them to say that they couldn't come to terms on a new deal, basically he's telling right there, like I'm saying, Tony Khan doesn't think you're worth it. He's basically telling you, bro, I got a bloated roster over here. Thank you and Brandy for everything you've done for AEW and getting us off the ground, but I don't need you. So if you want to go over to WWE, where in reality you're going to be probably upper mid card at best, you ain't going to be a main eventer. You ain't going to be a main event with Roman Reigns. They'll probably have a match, but you ain't going to be main eventing with Roman Reigns every pay per view or premium live events. That's what they call pay per views now. So you ain't going to be. You're not going to be. You're not going to be out there being this guy you were in AEW. You ain't going to get that fucking interest you were getting in AEW. That ain't going to be happening. So I'm 50-50 right now. I think it's a work, but I think it's legit, but I don't know for sure. All I know is that Cody has TV shows that he's signed up with Warner Media right now. WWE is not going to allow you to go to a competing network, especially a Time Warner competing network. That ain't going to happen. So this is going to be a very interesting situation where it goes. But at the end of the day,
the caveat to that is John Cena's on Warner Television. There's a caveat.
John Cena is not active on the roster. John Cena is irrelevant at this point. He's not even. John Cena is so far up Hollywood's ass that it doesn't matter what they're doing over at WWE. So it doesn't matter. I think personally, Cody's gonna do what Cody has to do for himself. I just am like, out of all the time you spend bashing WWE and whatever, for you to go back there is pretty hypocritical. But the wrestling business is a pretty hypocritical business to begin with. So it is what it is. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Cody Rhodes. AEW is a wrestling company, and WWE is an entertainment company, pretty much. Cody Rhodes.
Do you think
he's a sports?
You think he's a sports entertainer?
Yes. Cody wants to be Hollywood. That's what he wants to be. He wants to be an actor. So he fits over there. He fits there. But you got all these opportunities you got working with AEW. You were on the network. So what are you going to do? You think you're going to have a Mr. and Mrs. Rhodes show like the Mr. and Mrs. Miz? You think that's what's going to happen? I'm telling you, Cody. If Cody gets over there, Cody will get the shock push, okay? And in a couple of weeks, it'll be done. And the bottom line is that if this is what I would have done if I was Cody, I would have been in the Royal Rumble. That's what I would have done. I would have been a part of the WrestleMania season at that point. But then it would make no sense to bring Cody in straight off AEW, bring him in and job him out in the Royal Rumble. So
it's
weird, man.
It's so much, man.
And you know something else I want to say this real quick. So this also, you talk about caveats. This also could be a bargaining tool by Cody to say, hey, I'm talking over here to WWE, and I want this, and this. To put
Tony
it out
will
there.
let him walk, bro.
Well, I know
Tony will let him walk.
Well, Tony will let him walk, but guys used to pull this all the time back in the day. They would use the leverage between the two companies, WWF, WCW, in order to get better deals. So Cody could be doing that. All it just could be Cody is just he's out, and Tony says, "I don't need you. I already got a bloated roster. I don't need you. You want to go back over there and work? Go." But funny thing about it is, Dustin's not going.
Yeah.
So think about that for a second.
Yeah.
He's not going. Dustin says, "I love it here at AEW, so I'm not going anywhere." So there you go.
Well, that and then that's what I'm saying. Like he had so much stock invested in it. So does Dustin. Dustin helps train the wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these wrestlers, a lot of the new wrestlers are trained by Dustin and QT Marshall. So it's like, all right, what are y'all doing with this? Like, okay. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I mean, I understand they're trained by Dustin and QT Marshall, right? But
Marshall.
they wanted to be trained properly and not doing the spot fest that they do over there in AEW. They should have come down here to Dollar Pound Championship Wrestling and let Rodney Mack and Jazz train them and show you how to work, properly. Nothing against Dustin Rhodes. It ain't Dustin.
I agree.
But they can learn how to work properly. That's just all I'm saying.
I agree. I agree. Send them to the dojo.
Send them to the dojo. If y'all want to learn how to work correctly, come to the dojo.
That is a school that needs to get more recognition. The dojo. They
absolutely,
because I actually watched some of their YouTube matches and the guys there do work.
Oh yeah. They got a lot of
they do
a lot
work.
of hard workers. Yeah, they got a lot of hard workers down there. You got a lot of good talents down there, and we actually had a successful show last month. We had the Teddy Long Tag Team Classic, and that was a
thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah,
thank you.
That was a great show. That was a good show.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the next show that's coming up, we have Dollar Pound Championship Wrestling presents Cold Blooded, and that's going to be February 26th, and that's going to also be at the Pit, which is the Woodlawn Gym here in San Antonio, Texas. So we got some return matches going to happen there. So we got Iceman King Parsons is going to be in the house from World Class Championship Wrestling. So
nice. Is Stewie the Clown going to be in action?
Not sure. So we'll see.
Let me tell y'all something. That gimmick works. That shit works. Wholeheartedly works.
Oh, it does. It does work. It does work. So yeah, doing everything. People want to check it out. Just type in Dollar Pound Championship Wrestling. It's over here on YouTube, and it's also on Facebook as well. So check them out. You want to learn how to be a proper professional wrestler and train, come to San Antonio, go to the dojo, meet up with Rodney Mack and Jazz, and they'll show you how it's done.
Right on. So for those watching, we do have the link to the show available. If you do want to come on, you want to share some of your thoughts on this whole Dustin Rhodes thing, the link is go to the Dat Feelin Podcast Network's feed. It is the pinned comment. You'll be able to come on, share your thoughts on what you think about this whole Cody Rhodes situation. Do you think it's bullshit? Do you think what do you think? We want to hear from you. So the link to the show is there. You'll be able to come on. You don't have to show your face. Share your thoughts.
And also, when we're done with the show, it'll be live up here on Facebook, and you can just leave your comments on there. We like to go back and read stuff as well. So, ain't no thing.
Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
But a chicken wing. Exactly. In public, if you will.
So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's switch gears.
And hold on. And that's another thing that's gonna hold Cody back too in WWE. That damn lisp.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Could you
Bro, you
imagine
got
that
Ronda Rousey over here botching signings, bro. He'll be fine.
Hey, and that's another thing, dude. Let's talk about that for a second too while we're going ahead. I know the next segment,
Ronda
but let's
Rousey.
let's talk about Ronda Rousey for a minute.
All right,
So
we got time.
yeah, I was listening to Keeping It 100, the Conan podcast, and I sent you the
Mm-hmm.
clip, and they talked about
Yep.
how some of the stuff that was going on with Ronda behind the scenes and how she was demanding this and demanding that. And I'm like, bro, you come back, you're botching this shit, you throwing them weak ass punches at the Rumble, and you taking it seriously. These people don't like you, or the last time you that they were booing, you took it to heart, even though it's entertainment. You're supposed to be playing a character. What is going on?
Thin skin.
Can't have thin skin in the entertainment business, baby.
Thin skin, bro. You're supposed to love that stuff. Like if you get a reaction, you're getting a reaction. The thing about that is Ronda Rousey's used to being loved, right? She came from the UFC where she was a darling. You know what I mean? As long as she was winning, she was a darling. She lost, she got the fuck out of Dodge. She comes to wrestling. Initially, she's a darling. Then people don't like Ronda Rousey. It's okay to not like Ronda Rousey. You see what people do to John Cena. They hate John Cena, but they love John Cena. You know what I mean? Like you have to exist in that medium. So you have to be like, it's okay. I'm getting this money. It's fine. People
She
don't
just
have to like you.
she just comes off as entitled.
Yes,
Like you come over and you gonna be that shit. What they don't understand about this is how many times did Rock go out there as Rocky Maivia back in the day and people didn't like him, and it wasn't
exactly.
until he turned. But see, the Rock took that legitimate heat that he had with the fans and turned into the Rock and started cutting those promos. A lot of that was legitimate. But Ronda Rousey just comes off as a spoiled little brat who got booed and didn't like it and then went and cried about it. You feel me? And I don't know. I mean, she's basically saying, and this is the part that gets me. So she wants to work with Charlotte because Charlotte's her homegirl. The the match obviously would be Becky, but she don't want to work with Becky. She wants to work with Charlotte. She wants to be on SmackDown with her homegirls. But the money matches her and Becky. I'm sorry. I'm just not excited about Lita being there. Doesn't do anything for me. And I'm not even a Becky Lynch fan either because I think that her current gimmick is stupid. It's dumb. But that's just me though, you know what I mean? That's just me. I don't really care for it. It's just not doing anything. This is WrestleMania season, right? And I'm not excited about Mania. And then they're talking about, well, they're gonna, possibly try to bring Stone Cold Steve Austin back to do a match. And with Kevin Owens of all people.
That's desperation. That's desperation.
Yeah, it is. You got what was Austin hasn't wrestled a match in what 18, 19 years, something like that. So
Yeah, something like that.
why would you know what I mean? So bring dude back for what? Why would he come back? And I think he's feeling good, but why would he come back? And if he's going to come back, why would you waste him on Kevin Owens? Why? Because they do the
Stunner
stunner.
v stunner. Stunner v stunner.
Hey, Kevin Owens' stunner sucks ass. In case anybody realizes, it sucks. All right, if you're gonna bring him back, I would say put him in a marquee match. I would have loved to see him versus Brock Lesnar. To be honest, the match that we never got to
Yes.
see.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
I
but
agree.
Kevin Owens doesn't do shit for me. Nothing.
I agree. It does nothing. But that's desperation. You need it. It's gonna be in Texas. You need it. It's gonna be in
Right,
Dallas, Texas, at the AT&T Stadium.
sir. It's gonna be in Arlington, Texas.
Arlington, Texas,
That's right.
AT&T Stadium. I should know that.
Right. It's gonna be in Arlington, Texas, at the AT&T Stadium, and it's gonna be 2 nights of bullshit. So
Now,
you just gotta pick. You gotta pick which night of bullshit you want to see.
Would you like to come see the bullshit?
Nah, probably not.
All right, cool.
I
Figured I'd
can't do it.
ask. I figured I'd ask.
Yeah, I can't do it. And then I'll change my mind later.
what? what if something grandiose happens? You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, I'll tell you what. I need to know because they still got a lot of tickets. I would just need to know as far as what matches are going to happen on night 1 and what's happening on night 2. Any show that
you probably won't know that until like 2 weeks before the event anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what. So most likely what they're going to end up doing is they're going to have one of the women's matches main event one of the nights, and then the Universal title match will main event the next night. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, you know
so,
that.
And whatever title show Roman's on, that's the one.
That's night 2.
Exactly. Yeah,
that shit's night 2.
Yeah,
they're closing the event with Roman Reigns versus whoever the fuck.
That's it. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk.
All right, cool. Because you got a place to crash.
Yeah, I hear that. It's not the plan didn't exactly go down the plan the way it's supposed to have gone down, but nonetheless you'll be in
I'll be closer.
Texas. You'll be in Texas, so nonetheless,
I'll be closer, and I'll be able to every other Friday, if permitted, come to the dojo. So,
right. Well, we'll talk about that as well. It's time for you to put your work in.
Yeah. So in public, baby.
Exactly. Imagine Cody rolls up there. So I was wondering, what kind of deal are y'all gonna give me, baby? I'm trying to get this deal going.
I'm trying to get to the pay window.
I'm trying to get to the pay window, and Tony kind of want to pay me the money, baby. So I'm kind of like, maybe I can be the new dream.
The American.
I can be their nightmare. Well, Cody, can we see you do that elbow? You want to see like I did my daddy? Woo!
I'll be stunting like my daddy, baby.
Exactly. Son.
Oh shit. But yeah, switching gears. Let's switch gears. So
yes,
you caught the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah, I did.
I'll go first.
I caught it later on, but go ahead.
I'll go first because I know you have thoughts on this.
I sure do.
Actually, I did not hate the Super Bowl halftime show. I actually thought, was it the best Super Bowl halftime show of all time, like everybody else is saying it is? No, it's not. It's not. It was, for me, it was very toned down. I'm gonna speak more in depth on this later at a later point, but I thought the show was very toned down. Now, was it a bad show? No, it was not. I thought the highlight of the show for me was Kendrick and his homage, if you will, to the SW1s. That was beautifully done by him. The low point for me, Mary J. Blige. I knew it. I called it. I just happen to think, and this is just me speaking. Y'all don't have to get mad at this. Mary J. Blige is trash. To me. To me. Mary J. Blige is trash. It could have been anybody else, and that whole little 2 minutes that she had, somebody could have shined. I saw they had Janae Aiko out there earlier. She could have went up there, did like 2 songs. Great. Mary J did not do it for me. Low point, and plus she did the No More Drama and then acted like she had the Holy Ghost. Not into it. Fell out like she was in church and it was passing the collection plate and she was fresh out of money. Pass. But I didn't think it was a bad show. I thought it was very much toned down, in which it had to be, because These are West Coast icons, and back in their day, their music was very not what the Super Bowl people should be about. But I thought it was a good show for what it was. They kept it short, they kept it sweet, and they gave you as much as they could. Now, 50 Cent hanging from the Raptors, uh, like he did in 2002, don't do it no more, 50. I love you. I do love you. But Ja Rule probably had a field day watching this performance because it was not it, sir. You reminded everybody that those shirts that they used to buy was a bad idea. But overall, not a bad show. What you got?
Oh man, where do I start? So I saw it later, and uh, first of all, what what the fuck was Snoop Dogg wearing? Uh, they kind of said, "Hey, listen, we don't want any kind of gang affiliation kind of stuff on the show. So can you probably not wear something like that?" And he wore it anyway. And it was a half of it was a blue flag. The other part was, whatever it was. I didn't care for it. I'm just like, you know, you got all these people watching this show, and to me, honestly, it just, I mean, I know where they're at. You're in Inglewood. I grew up in Inglewood. You feel me? So
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Inglewood. I'm from Inglewood, so I know what it was. But you're on a grand stage, and to me, it just made black people look ignorant, bro. That's my opinion. It's like this is all we you get a chance to come up here and do something, right? And you're basically fitting the stereotype of what everybody thinks. Sea walking and all this bullshit and throwing up the seas and all. I'm just like, it could have done without it, man. And I ain't got no problem with Snoop,
Mm-hmm.
other than him claiming that him and Tupac was so cool and Tupac couldn't stand your ass because you went on New York radio talking about how you was wanting to do a song with Biggie. But that's a different story.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just think it just came off bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I just wish that he hadn't done it because you on this grand stage of the Super Bowl. And then there was a whole, they didn't want Dre to say the line, still not loving police. And he said it anyways, or whatever. Whatever. I didn't care for the Mary J performance either. I didn't like it. I, I didn't like it. Mary J. I don't think she's necessarily trash, but I would
You
say
can say it.
her
It's
better
fine.
days are her better days are behind her. I'll just put it like that.
You can say it. It's okay. Mary J is trash. Just
She
say
would
it
have
with
been if you want to be completely honest, you know who I would have had in that spot?
who?
I would have had Tony Braxton in that spot.
No, that's what. That's almost worse.
What's wrong with Tony Braxton?
No,
Tony
what
Braxton
Tony
had hits.
Braxton gonna sing?
Tony
Love should
Braxton
have
had
brought you
hits.
home last night.
Tony Braxton had hits, homie. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. She had hits, especially if we're talking about that time frame. Okay, I put it like this: in that area, okay, back in the '90s, Tony Braxton was hot, and so
Yes, she
was
was. I'll give you that.
she was hot. She damn sure outsing Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give
Okay,
you
so
that.
you could have had her on the stage. That's what it was about,
But
singing, right?
I don't think her song. So my thing was the song choice, right? So you could have. I don't think Tony Braxton would have worked for song choice because the whole shit was bouncy, and then here you come with no more drama. Like I've done this at a show before, and it just completely killed the vibe. And then I didn't know how to get it back, and I felt like that's what they were kind of trying to do. Like they went there and they had her early, which is good, but the energy it took a minute to get it back. It wasn't until like damn near when Eminem came on, like once Kendrick came out, like it was like okay, the energy's back here. But Mary J kind of brought that shit down with that set. I was like, this is a fucking horrible song choice. Like it
Well,
was bad.
they I think a lot of the song choices were bad, to be honest. I
Hey,
mean,
I'll give you they could have been better, but
they could have been better.
again, it's the Super Bowl. Like
I
What
understand that.
you can't come out there talking about bitches ain't shit. You know what I
I
mean? Like you can't do
I get
that.
I get that part, but the thing that the other thing that kind of bothered me a little bit was that you're on this grand stage. You're in Inglewood. They call it L.A. You in Inglewood, and we had this whole situation happen with Nipsey a couple years ago. You could have had the game on the stage. The ultimate solidarity union could have been if you don't have 50 Cent there, you could have the game on the stage with 50 as well. And
Well, that would have worked, but I don't think in the grand scheme of things, America was ready for that shit.
well,
Like
but
because you
you got
already
Snoop on there. You got
yeah, but I'm
what I'm
saying
getting
though,
at. You got Snoop Dogg on there as a representation of one side.
right.
The game could have been on there as a representation of the other side.
But though that's a good idea, you got to look at it from the grand scheme of things, right? So you already have one known gangbanger on one side. Then if you bring out another known gangbanger, like this whole show is just like fucking gangbanging. And that would have been the narrative. It wouldn't have been to show solidarity. The narrative would have been you have these gangsters invading the Super Bowl and promoting gang activity. That would have been the narrative. And it's already there with Snoop. So why would you bring another known gang affiliated member on the stage in the Super Bowl? And
Well,
that's where I would have been like, okay, that's too much.
I understand. Look, it ain't like this was going to be the Up and Smoke tour. All right.
But
I mean,
yeah, true.
if it was me that was putting this shit together, he would have West Side Connection on that motherfucking stage. You know what I mean?
But that's too much. Dub C on stage at the Super Bowl is already too much. It's too much.
Yeah,
it's too much on the regular stage.
Hey, that would have been hot. That would have been fucking hot.
Just go full throttle. Just bring Adina Howard out too. You know what I mean? Like just
matter of fact, I don't know if you noticed or not, but right here in San Antonio, right? Guess who's gonna be in concert?
who?
Snoop and Ice Cube.
Oh, they got a group.
Yeah, they do with Too Short.
Yeah.
They're gonna be over here at AT&T Center.
And Arlington?
No, right here in San Antonio.
Oh, in San Antonio. Okay.
Yeah, AT&T Center. Oh no, not AT&T. Said AT&T, whatever that arena is over
The
here.
arena, yeah.
So they're gonna be up over there doing their thing. I might go up over there, saying, head buster. You feel me?
Oh my God.
Right.
But yeah, so Super Bowl halftime, like it was gonna take hits regardless. I think what they're taking is like the best case scenario because it could have been worse. Like it could have been way worse.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. To me, honestly, the best Super Bowl show, and people can debate this all day long. It's just it's just an opinion. The best Super Bowl show they ever did to me was Michael Jackson.
I say Prince.
I would say both of them
Yeah.
are in competition with each other.
Yeah.
Those
are the top two. Like
exactly.
those
Nothing else can fall. Nothing.
Yeah.
They fell for that.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is like we didn't even see no titties on this. You feel me?
Well, you weren't gonna.
I'm just saying we didn't even see no titties.
I mean, the whole thing was protect the bag. Like they hyped it so much. Like you got to protect that bag. Like you can't. And you with the Janet Jackson shit coming out this year and talking about how they felt about the wardrobe malfunction and all that. Like, play it safe, man. Play it safe. Get this bag. Let's go home. You know what I mean? Let's have a good set. Let's go home.
Well,
Do we care what people was gonna say? No, we don't care. You know why? Because we got the bag.
But we could have saw big titties on the mothership.
No. You don't want that. Right. You don't want that. Get that bag, go home. You know what I mean? Get that show ready, get that bag, get the bus ready. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Hey, we'll go party in Compton or some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean?
We ain't gonna party in Compton, man.
That's probably what happened.
I'm gonna run my ass to the suburbs. I ain't gonna party. I'm gonna go keep it gangster in the suburbs. The fuck?
Oh, you going from Compton to Calabasas? That's where you're going?
That's right. Yep, just like Snoop.
I'm going to Calabasas.
Yep. Just like all the rest of them do. Them motherfuckers ain't hanging on the hood. Come on.
Hell
Really?
no.
They ain't hanging on no
Hell
hood.
no.
Shit. And those same ones saying we don't like the police. Guess what? That whole damn stadium was full of police. LA
Yep.
County sheriffs, Inglewood, fucking
Your
police,
ass is going
LAPD,
right to
FBI,
Thousand Oaks.
everybody was there. Shit.
You going right to Thousand Oaks. That's where you going. 118.
Exactly. Exactly. Shit.
118 all the way across. Don't even go down.
But real quick, going back to the wrestling, we had some debuts this past week in AEW on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
We had the debut of the Limitless one, Bask in his glory, Keith Lee. Right? Why they didn't save him for Texas? I don't know. He's from Texas. Why didn't they save him for Texas? I don't know. You had that happen, and then you also have the cameo with Switchblade.
Now, Switchblade actually has a match this Friday.
On Rampage.
AKA Thunder. You know what? I think Rampage is, honestly, for an hour, it's the better show right now.
I don't watch it. I don't know.
I think so. I think Rampage is the better show right now.
I gave up on it.
No, Rampage.
It records. I don't watch it.
Rampage is actually really good. Like for an hour, for the hour that they give you a lot in that hour. And I am here for it. And Hook is quickly becoming one of my favorites.
Yeah, Hook is okay. Yeah. He has it. I just wish that I would like to see him do something different with his hair.
I don't care.
But
I think
he's been safe.
Yeah, for what he's been doing, I'm here for it. Like I will watch Hook, and I will watch Rampage specifically because they keep Hook on Rampage, and the rest of the show isn't bad.
Yeah. So let me ask you. So what do you think they're going to go with Wardlow? Obviously, Wardlow is going to be the next big babyface in AEW. They're setting that up, and I kind of when I see this storyline unfolding, if they don't fuck it up. They could have this as when Batista turned on Triple H kind of situation with Evolution, if they do it correctly. Because Wardlow is over. One thing I don't like about Wardlow, I don't like his music. I wish they would change his music. But then again, I don't like Ricochet's music either because that's some shit. That is some garbage. Every song that Def Rebel comes out with for WWE is just garbage, hot shit. They need to get CFOs back in there.
Yeah, you're right.
But Wardlow needs new music. Wardlow needs some pyro when he comes out there. And when he eventually turns on Pinnacle, and that's the end of that, they got a made man right there. And that's just.
I thought it was going to happen in Cleveland because you could see he was pretty agitated in Cleveland, but they held off. And I'm like, oh, they're slow burning, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah, but you don't want to go that long, slow building something because look what happened with the CM Punk versus MJF match and how it brought the ratings down. It didn't score. I mean, you don't want to milk it because then people lose interest with it. I think people, if they don't run with this, people are going to lose interest.
I agree.
Just like if they don't do right, if they don't do right with this whole Cody thing, if it's a work, if they don't deliver on this.
Bro, you think this shit is? I think it's a work, but man, if that motherfucker shows up in WWE, man, I don't know. I really don't know. Or like if they do some underhanded shit to where he shows up in New Japan, then I'll be like, okay, this shit is a work. But if he shows up in WWE, if they're just purely pumping rumors that he's gonna go to WWE, it's a work. But man, I'm really at a loss for words for this shit. Like I don't know what the fuck to think. Like, and as a wrestling fan, that's what I want. I don't know what the fuck to think. Like
I don't know either. It's weird to me. It's just very weird. I've just had a weird feeling about it all day. Like this is I thought Jericho would have been the first one to go back. To be honest, I think and that's another thing I want to talk about too real quick.
I think Jericho is going back.
Oh, eventually he'll go back. They're all going to go back eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
I don't think CM Punk is ever going to go back there.
No.
Yeah, I don't think Punk is. But I want to talk a little bit real quick about Santana and Ortiz, um, Pride and Powerful,
It's
and
about time.
that promo they cut the other day.
It's about time.
That was a long time coming.
It's
That was
about time.
great. That was some great TV. I'd love to see Conan come in and manage them if that was possible for that to happen.
Yeah.
I'd
It's
love to
about
see that.
time.
Yeah. So I will say that much. It was a great promo, and I can't wait to see where they go with that next in public, if you will.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. All right, my man. Final thoughts. What you got?
Final thoughts is that I expect Cody to end up in WWE, and I expect him to relaunch the NWO as an angle and say we're taking over, and he's gonna have a group there called the Elite, All Elite, and you know we're gonna take over. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna come and say, "You want a war? Well, you got one." That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, it's for life.
I don't like that.
Nah, no. I don't know. We'll know further when more news comes out about this. I'm on the borderline of 50-50. I think it's a work, but then again, I think it's legit. I don't know, but all I know is that people didn't tune in tonight with us live. Leave your comments below and let us know what's up with it. Let us know what y'all think. Do you think it's a
Yeah.
work? Do you think that it's for real? Where does who's going to be next to jump from All Elite to the Evil Empire? That's what's going to be the thing here,
The
brother.
dark side has
Who
consumed you.
exactly? Who's going to be next, baby? That's what it's going to be there.
Who's going to the pay window?
Exactly. You know what Tony Khan should do? He got all these contracts coming up, right?
Let them all go.
He should go in there and say it's like when Dusty Rhodes did it in WCW. He came in and said, "I'm the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I'm the rake, and y'all the weeds," and just start firing motherfuckers.
Hey, that could happen though. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
all these contracts coming up. Hey, if Cody is indeed gone, this was a message. You're all expendable.
Hey, Tony can't fucking
I can't keep
everybody.
I
He
can't
can't
keep
do it.
everybody.
It's time for him. We said it a long time ago. It's time for him to cut the fat, man. It's time for him to trim the fat.
Or if Cody is indeed gone, he can keep a lot of these guys because I'm pretty sure Cody had a salary.
You don't want to keep everybody that you don't need to keep. There's no.
You don't need to keep everybody.
You don't need to keep everybody. You keep the people that you have. You're actually putting on good matches. So I don't know.
I'm thinking this is KC. So KC, go to the DFPN podcast, to the podcast broadcast of the show. You're more than welcome to come on and show your thoughts. You don't have to show your face, but you're more than welcome to come on. There's a pinned link in the comments. Go ahead and click on it if you want, and you're more than welcome to come in. We got a couple more minutes. We'll take some calls, if you will. We got a couple more minutes, but yeah, man, I don't think he's gonna run it. Well, he may.
Gotta take some calls. Oh,
Yeah,
we
we'll
got a
take some
call.
calls.
Hey, we got a call coming in. Eton Schwartz is calling in here.
Wow. Wow.
Oh shit,
That's
we got a
full
call.
from
We got a call here. Eileen Ulick. She's calling in as well. Crazy. They're all jumping on today. That's right.
The fuck is wrong with you?
It's all in the water, baby.
But you think he could run NXT?
Who's that?
Cody.
Running for what? Hey, running for what? So you mean telling me, yeah, So we beat WWE, the Mental brand, and I'm going back to running. I'm Cody Rhodes, and I'm here to run NXT 2.0, David. And I'm bringing
Yeah,
out my wife, Brandy. We
the
gonna run it.
general manager
No,
and the chief branding officer of
no.
NXT.
They already got Stephanie McMahon there.
The
This is
general manager.
Cody Rhodes and Brandy and NXT and AEW were Triple H and Stephanie liked. That's what they were. They don't need a general manager on NXT. Why would Cody leave the top show for the competing brand to go be the general manager for the developmental? Why would I degrade myself to do that? And on top of that, if they
Because
went
he's
and did that,
Cody
if they went
fucking
if
Rhodes.
but if he went and did that, then what does that show? It shows, first of all, it goes against the narrative right now that WWE has of we only want younger and bigger on NXT. Cody's older and smaller, so it don't work. You know what I'm saying? That's just it doesn't work for me, brother. As Hogan would
What
say.
if this is a what if this is a name grab? What if this is a name grab? I go to WWE, I get full control of the Cody Rhodes name. I get the trademark for it.
He has it. That's why his name becomes up Cody Rhodes. And you know what's crazy about that is that they gave up Bash at the Beach. AEW did. They gave up Bash at the Beach and a couple other WCW names that they trademarked to get his fucking name back. And then he goes to WWE.
That's some whole shit.
Right.
That's some whole shit.
Right. Yeah, I read that earlier. And I'm like, if that's the case, that is some bullshit.
No,
but that's what I read.
No, Cody, what are you doing?
Right. Right.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Wow. Yep. Wow.
Yes, that's what I read. Yes, sir.
That's fucked up.
That's why it's called that's why it's called Beach Break now. It was Bash at the Beach. But they gave it back to WWE to get his name. That's how Cody Rhodes got his name back. Yes, sir. So Tony got this motherfucker's name back, gave WWE back the IP, and I'm out. I'm out.
I've accomplished what I needed to accomplish.
Yep.
Wow, that's some bullshit. Yep. I mean, if it works for you, Cody, I hope it works for you. But God, I don't.
You're gonna take you're gonna take a huge credibility hit moving forward, and that's just what it is.
He's already taken it. Like just on the assumption that he's going there, kills his credibility. Kills it.
Yeah.
It kills it.
I don't know. But that's all I got, man. And we're definitely gonna do this again because people need to know. I need to know what's going on here. The fabulous one, Frankie D, needs to know what's going on here.
We need to know. We need answers.
We need answers, exactly.
We need fucking answers, Cody.
We need answers, exactly. I'm not gonna sleep until I get a fucking answer.
Oh man. So my final thoughts. Obviously, you guys know, if you don't know, I'm moving to Arlington. I'll be living about 5 minutes from AT&T Stadium. So that move is going to be happening very, very soon. But that gives me more time. I will have a new dedicated space. But in order to do that, I need to set it up. So we're moving. Which I took a little bit of time out from packing and shit. Like this normal setup is a rig right now. I had to rig this shit. So we'll be back. We'll be back, and I'll have a dedicated man space. I'll be looking more like Frank D over there. So with the setup. So till then, catch up on all the wrestling news. Join the group. The No Gimmicks Podcast fan group. We will do some more shows. When I get to Texas, we will be more active because I will have a dedicated space to do this. Right now, I'm in my room, and I don't know if you guys heard it, but there was a phone conversation this whole podcast. So, but I have my own space, and we'll be ready to rock and roll, and I'll have more time dedicated to doing these podcasts and getting out more wrestling news and populating our YouTube channels, and getting that information out. So till then, keep tapping in what y'all normally do. Come subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the Facebook, like, share, all that great stuff, and we'll be back with some more wrestling news for you guys. And Halloween ends is a topic that we're going to be covering. So
yes, we have to cover that. Yes, we have to cover that.
Yes. So till then, tap in, stay locked in. Thank you guys for the support. You got anything else?
Don't forget to help control the pet population.
Shut the fuck up.
Or do
Oh man, thank y'all for watching No Gimmicks, man. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good one. Later.